My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things. And today I am giving you my September TBR. Time isn't real. I keep thinking that it's August. We have finally gotten Birdie under control. He no longer screams, beeps, whatever downstairs, but we do have a rogue kitten outside the door who's meowing. So fair warning, he thinks he's being starved to death. We don't agree, and neither does the vet. And then Cotter is also around. So, you know, living with 8 or so animals can be quite noisy. Anyway, I don't know how many times I'm going to give this disclaimer, but just in case you're new here, I do live with a lot of animals. This is my September TBR. I, as I've said before, am trying to read less, and so my TBRs I think are going to get shorter and shorter as I finish my series and clear out my want to read, and then I think I'll probably just start focusing on like dad books and things that are recommended to me by others and new releases. Like I think I'll finally get to the point where I can focus on those things, so that's kind of exciting. But let's get this show on the road. First things first, my childhood rereads are going to be all of the books by Anna Godberson, basically. So Bright Young Things and Beautiful Days, which is a set of books set in the 1920s, and then the Lux series, which is 4 books set in 1899 Manhattan. These books are like Gossip Girl meets aristocratic drama, and they, I believe, are pretty romantic and historical fiction. Now, just because I read a whole week and a half of romance books does not mean that my opinion has completely changed on those. I don't expect to enjoy these all that much. I know that teen me really read a lot of romances expecting to like them and feel like that about other people. Like, I read romances to try and figure out, like, is this how I'm supposed to be feeling about people? No, baby, you're just aromantic. So that was tricky, and a lot of my childhood rereads from my teen years are romance-based, and I think I just liked the drama more than the romance, so we'll see what happens. For series continuations, I will be reading The Elves of Sintra and then this is a slur in it, Morph by Terry Brooks. This is the continuation of the Shannara series, but it is the Genesis of Shannara trilogy, which is basically how Shannara came to be from the world as we know it to the world of Shannara as the first trilogy shows it. So far, currently reading the first book in that trilogy, it's really interesting, and I prefer these books over the actual like OG Shannara books. And I think that my opinion is probably going to be very different than other people's, but I don't care. Next is going to be The Tower of Nero by Rick Riordan, which is the Trials of Apollo. It is the last book of the Trials of Apollo. And then The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan. That was on my TBR last month, but I just never got around to it, especially with the emergency dental surgery kind of knocking my TBR back a little bit. So there's that. That's why I am putting it back on my TBR, because I'd really like to get to reading it. And then Gods and Monsters by Shelby Maharan. I might be saying that wrong. That is the 3rd book in the Serpent and Dove series. This series really feeds my love of the trope of witch corrupts priest. So yeah, where are those books? Over here. I don't know. I have a new setup now. I don't know where any of my books are. I really want to listen to the book though before I actually go out and buy it, because the 2nd book was not what I had anticipated it to be, because I had always thought this was going to be a duology. So if I'm still left feeling unsatisfied by the 3rd book, there's a strong chance that I maybe get rid of the series. But it's just kind of dependent on how that goes. The other books that I will be reading this month, just like the general other books, is going to be 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. That book has been on my radar for a long time. It has been recommended to me by lots of people, but I started watching the Hulu series, and they are not putting out all of the episodes all at once, and I don't want to wait. Basically, that book is about 9 people who gather at a remote health resort, and amidst all of the luxury and pampering, they know these 10 days might involve some real work, but none of them could imagine just how challenging the next 10 days are going to be. Just based on the way the Hulu series has started, it looks insane, and I'm really excited to read it. Then we have Feed by Mira Grant, aka Shauna McGuire. That's a zombie horror pandemic book, which is just like horrendous timing, and I can't wait to read it. Then Dusk or Dark or Dawn or Day by Shauna Maguire. That is a novella about ghosts, I think. When I was reading the explanation, the summary, I didn't get it, but basically our main character died too early, and to earn back her days, she works at a suicide help hotline. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I really like Shauna Maguire's writing, and with the new update from Tor for the second Middle Game book, I'm craving Shauna's writing, so here we are. This Is Not a Ghost Story by Andrea Portez. Andrea, her name is probably Andrea. I just say Andrea because that's my real name. That is about Daffodil Franklin, who has plans for a quiet summer before her freshman year of college, and she gets to house sit for a wealthy couple. But it turns out that the house has a grudge it needs to settle, and it's going to use Daffodil for that. I don't know how I feel about a main character named Daffodil, though, so we'll see how that goes. Next is Red Wolf by Rachel Vincent. This is a Red Riding Hood kind of retelling, but our Red Riding Hood is the one who turns into the wolf, I believe, so that's exciting. I'm excited to read it. It's been on my radar for a little bit, but I kept there were so many books I think that came out that were Red Riding Hood themed or wolf themed in the last few months that I genuinely was getting them mixed up. And that sounds awful as a consumer, but it's true, so I am nothing but fun. Next is Velvet Was the Night by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I read 2 of Sylvia's books this past month and really enjoyed one of the 2, and I think that I'm very excited about this historical sort of dark noir active book. I've only read those when they're written by men, and I don't care for that much, so I'm very excited to get to read it by a woman. In this book, it's in the 1970s in Mexico City. There is a secretary who lives for one thing, and that's the latest issue of Secret Romance. Her next door neighbor, Leonora, goes missing, and so she starts looking for her, basically. And the next book is At the End of Everything by Mariki Ninjkamp. Sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly. This is an arc. Basically, there are kids at this mental health facility, and all of a sudden the guards stop showing up. And when they finally escape the mental health facility, there are a bunch of soldiers outside the gates because there is some kind of infection spreading, which is really good timing. Then we have A Letter to Three, which is by Elizabeth Bass. This is another arc. This book is very like Charmed meets Practical Magic to me, based on the way that it seems like it's going to be very lighthearted. I'm not going to try and take it too seriously, and my expectations are just for that lighthearted kind of fantasy vibe. Nearly a century ago, Gwen Engle's great-great-grandfather cast a spell with catastrophic side effects. As a result, the Grand Council of Witches forbade his descendants from practicing witchcraft. Gwen and her cousins, Trudy and Milo, received a letter from Gwen's adopted sister, Tanith, informing them that she bewitched one of their partners and will run away with him at the end of the week. Which just sounds messy, so. Then another arc, the next 2 are arcs still. Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandria Bellafleur. This is a romance, a queer romance. It is I'm never gonna fall in love ever, oh shit, I just ran into my childhood friend and my first love, I guess I might take it back kind of energy. And I really liked Written in the Stars by this author, and that's kind of what inspired my romance reads in general. And so when I saw this on NetGalley, I was like, request immediately, because I like this author's writing and I like the way this author does romance, and I don't like romance, so you know. Next is The Resting Place by Camilla Stan. It is about somebody who has face blindness, who witnesses their grandmother's murder, but face blindness again, so they can't recall who that was. As someone who can't visualize, face blindness usually go hand in hand. I don't have that issue, but I know people who do, so I would be interested to see how realistic this is to people who actually have this problem, and I may ask a few people that I know that have it and see if that's an accurate like representation. Like if someone got murdered in front of you, like you watched them, you saw their face, would you remember who it was? I feel like you would. I feel like there are a lot of other features about a person that you would remember, but I don't know because I don't have this, right? So then we have The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters. Natasha's sister is missing. Her car was found abandoned on the edge of a local nature preserve known as The Bend. But as the case goes cold, Natasha's loss turns to burning anger. So thriller, mystery, see what happens. This has been on my TBR for quite a while, I think. Not my official TBR, but it has been on my like Scribd saved for quite a while. I just have not gotten around to reading it. And like I've said before, I'm trying to like clear those things out and, you know, get to them, lower those lists so I feel less of an urgency to read things as quickly as I normally do. Next we have The Wild Ones by Nafiza Assad. Meet the Wild Ones, girls who have been hurt, abandoned, and betrayed all their lives. It all began with Paheli, who was once betrayed by her mother and sold to a man in exchange for a favor. When Paheli escapes, she runs headlong into a boy with stars in his eyes. The boy, as battered as she is, tosses Paheli a box of stars before disappearing. With the stars, Paheli gains access to the Between, a place of pure magic and mystery. Now, Paheli collects girls and like herself, and these wild ones use their magic to travel the world, helping the hopeless and saving others from the fates they suffered. It just sounds nice, and the cover's really pretty. That's it. It just sounds really nice. Then we have Life Expectancy by Dean Koontz. This is another one of those books. I'm reading another Dean Koontz book in August, but this is one of those ones that I remember my parents listening to when I was a kid, and I asked them basically like, what is this book, based on these very random plot things I remember, and this was one of them. So it's been on my TBR for a minute because I knew I wanted to eventually read it, just because my brain vaguely remembers parts of it. Life Expectancy is about Jimmy Talk, who the day he's born, his grandfather passes away, I think like at the same time, and then before he passes away, he has not spoken since he had a stroke like 1,000 years ago, and he sits up and he like gives this prophecy that Jimmy Talk is going to have 5 dark days within his life. 5 days with terrible events that Jimmy will have to prepare himself to face, which sounds horrifying. I'll be like, shut up, Grandpa. Don't put that on me. I don't claim that. I don't claim this energy, you know? But they probably didn't know about manifesting. Then we have nope, just said that. Then we have After Love by Tanya, I can't say her last name. Byerny? By Tanya Byerny. Ash, I talked about this book in my anticipated Sapphic releases that I was really excited about, and so I'm finally going to get to read it. I'm going to buy it actually today because I got an extra Audible credit from a friend, so that's exciting. Ash Perswad is about to become a Reaper in the afterlife, but she is determined to see her first love, Poppy Morgan, again. The only thing that separates them is death. Very dramatic sounding. Romance meets fantasy meets the Grim Reaper, basically, which is very much up my alley. Not the romance part, but the rest of it. So I'm excited about reading it. I'm really excited about the books that I have lined up for this month. I like the way that my reading is evolving this year, how it was like lots and lots and lots of reading, and then now it's just like, I'm gonna just like vibe. I'm just vibing. So let me know if any of these books are on your radar. Let me know if you've read any of these and you liked them, or didn't like them. Let me know if I should be prepared, maybe. Yeah, that's all I got though. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't, please let me know how I can make it better. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you have not already. Commenting down below, also really good for the algorithm and me. I do take a while to respond to comments sometimes, but I do appreciate all of them, so just thank you guys for the support. I'm almost at 700 subscribers and it means a whole lot to me. So as of filming this, just to be clear, it is August 20th, so as of filming this, I'm gonna go though. I will see you guys again on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Also, don't forget to take your meds, drink your water, brush your teeth so you don't have emergency dental surgery, you know, as you do. Hope you guys have a great day. Okay, thanks, bye.